Another historical act is going to take place at the Oval Office. For the first time in American history, a communist Muslim leader will be meeting the Republican president of the time. Despite spending months attacking each other during New York mayoral elections, the New York mayor the city mayor, Zohran Mamdani, will meet President Donald Trump. Trump, who previously insulted Mamdani and even joked about deporting him, has recently softened his tone and agreed to discuss how they can work together.
It speaks volumes that tomorrow we have a communist coming to the White House because that's who the Democrat Party elected as the mayor of the largest city in the country. I think it's very telling, but I also think it speaks to the fact that President Trump is willing to meet with anyone and talk to anyone and to try to do what's right on behalf of the American people, whether they live in blue states or red states or blue cities, in a city that's becoming much more left than I think this president ever anticipated in his many years of living in New York himself.
Now, Mamdani said that even though he and Trump were at loggerheads during the elections, he wants to talk to Trump about important issues like public safety, economic security, and other priorities he promised his voters.
It is customary for an incoming mayor of this city to meet with the White House, given the mutual reliance. It's more critical than ever. My team reached out to the White House to set up this meeting because I will work with anyone to make life more affordable for the more than 8.5 million people who call this city home. I have many disagreements with the president, and I believe that we should be relentless and pursue all avenues and all meetings that could make our city affordable for every single New Yorker. I intend to make it clear to President Trump that I will work with him on any agenda that benefits New Yorkers. If an agenda hurts New Yorkers, I will also be the first to say so.
And my colleague Rohit Sharma joins me from Washington, D.C., which is where the meeting is going to take place. Rohit, we know that they've taken very hard positions. What prompted this meeting between the two leaders?
Well, frankly, this isn't the first time mayor-elect of New York City would be traveling down to Washington, D.C. to meet the President of the United States. These are customary meetings. We've seen those before as well. So I think Zohran Mamdani is following the pattern here of getting a meeting with the President of the United States, New York being one of the most important cities, not only in America, but in the world. So I think this was on expected lines. What people didn't see coming was how soon this meeting is getting done. It was only 2.5 weeks ago when Mamdani went on the stage and said he was addressing President Donald Trump and asked President Trump to turn the volume up, as he said. So there will be no need of doing that, in all honesty. I think they will be coming down to D.C. 3 p.m. Eastern is when the meeting is with Zohran Mamdani, and they would be discussing things that would cater to their base. President Trump has called him communist, and we might get to see what they discuss. It's a closed meeting, so we would not have any press unless the White House decides to change it last minute. So we'll have to wait and watch what they talk about after the meeting, but clearly no love lost between both the leaders.
Well, okay, Rohit, then let's talk about the fact that the two leaders have taken positions. Now, we do know that there was a threat against New York City itself by Donald Trump when he said that he's not going to pay New York City should Zohran Mamdani become mayor. What to expect from this meeting? Will there be, will the funds start coming into New York yet again or not?
So I think he's going to come and drive home the message that he wants to work with President Trump in driving those costs down. I think affordability is the new buzzword in America. Everybody's talking about it. President Trump's talking about it. And he was the first one in the summer who started talking about it. So it is going to be a very interesting meeting when these leaders meet. I think President Trump would go into meeting, and we've seen him do that before, also with other elected representatives from the other state governments, including the governor of New York, Katie Hochul, who was here a couple of months ago, that when he gets into these meetings, he means business, and he wants to make sure that his priorities are taken care of while ensuring that his responsibility as a president is also accounted for in making sure that he can run the government effectively. So it'll be interesting as to what President Trump would do. in the meeting, I expect him to remind New York Mayor-elect that there are certain red lines that this administration has, and that he would not expect Mamdani to cross those. For example, DEI funding and things like that, so that president can continue and Washington, D.C. can continue to fund New York City's important programs, which again helps Zohran Mamdani to reduce cost. So we'll probably see some kind of a deal-making approach from President Trump. As far as Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani is concerned, I think he definitely would want all the funding to come to New York to meet his campaign promises.
Right, Rohit, you tracked that meeting. It'll take place around 1 a.m. India time, so we are over here, but we'll be taking all the developments early tomorrow morning. Thank you so much for joining us for now.